AFTV, as I was just saying to Belgium, no excuses for anything today because, yeah, United have had a week off, but then, Odegaard didn't play during the week, nor did Gyökeres didn't start, nor did, half of the team didn't start. So, Gabriel. So, what was it that we just put in such a poor performance despite going 1-0 up?
Look, I think there's a basic standard that you have to achieve in a football game if you want to win it, and you've got to show a little bit of attitude, you've got to show a little bit of desire, you've got to show a little bit of application, you've got to take your chances, you've got to create moments. And I don't think we did any of that today. I don't think we did any of the basics of what you need to do to win a football game at this level. And it's poor, like poor all over the pitch. And I'm one of the positive ones. I was at the Forest game. I was positive after Forest. They picked me back up in Milan, and they put me back down today, like in the most crushing way. It's very strange because like the midfield that we have, you look at it and go, that's a quality midfield. That's the sort of midfield that you want to go and win games. And then you look at the games like Villa, where away, you look at games like the 2 Liverpool games, and you're going, the midfield, in some respects, we just get played through way too easily. Like there's no way that both of those goals that they scored today should be, they shouldn't have that much time and space. We don't get that much time and space. Ødegaard, they don't get that much time and space in front of goal, 25, 30 yards. It doesn't happen. So how we afford other teams that is disappointing. I think it's really going to have to get into the players. They're going to have to really spend some time this week.
But there's that. But also, was there enough attacking intent from the team today? You know what I mean? When all right, I know we got back into the game. That's through a set piece, right? But where was the sort of attacking intent to try and, it just didn't seem there today.
Yeah, look, I think when you got a centre back pairing of Harry Maguire and Martinez, I think you got to challenge them. And I think they played within themselves. I think when you got Casemiro, whatever age he's at, we didn't make him do the things that midfielders of that age don't want to be doing. Midfielders of that age do not want to be running. They do not want to be get pulled out of position. They want to be nice and comfortable. They want to be close to their centre halves. Their 2 centre halves don't really want to move, and we didn't move them. We didn't do any of the things that you need to do to ask questions of the opposition today. And that's not good enough at this level, at this stage of the season. That isn't good enough. We have a squad, and and there has to be a question at some point about whether or not we're utilising that squad in the right way. Like you said, no excuses. There cannot be any excuses. I'm not coming on here today making any excuses because we went into the game today with essentially a full squad. Everyone's essentially back from injury, barring Max Dowman. So whilst obviously there are some doubts about some of the players and their fitness, no one's out per se, so everyone could be called on. And some of those players, like when Ben White, so poor today, like so poor. And it resonates through the crowd. And obviously, as a crowd, we want to get behind them, but we're asking for something. And I don't think we saw any of the things that I want and need to see.
Listen, next week now is a massive game. We're at Ellen Road. You've been there before. I've been there many a times. Ain't an easy place to go to. Very atmospheric place. They'll be getting stuck in. We've got to get back on track really quick. Are you confident we can?
We're going to have to. They're going to have to.
No, so are you confident we can?
I think that's a separate question because I think
that's what I'm asking.
No, well I know because I think when you look at the sides at the bottom of the league, we're getting to that period now where they're all starting to dig in. They're all starting to get results that they weren't getting at the start of the season. Burnley wouldn't have got they wouldn't have got that result second week of the season. Wolves wouldn't have got some of the results that they were getting second, third week of the season. So we have to go there and we have to exert dominance. We have to
win.
We have to. Yeah, look, no questions asked. I don't care how we do it. We just have to win and get back on track. It's not going to be an easy game. I can't sit here and I thought today would have been an easier game than that. And look what we saw. We went to Forest and they were 17th, and they made it super difficult. So there's no excuses. They have to be so much better. Levels have to be raised. The game in midweek takes a little bit of the pressure off, and hopefully they can use that game to build a bit of momentum and take some of the players out of the firing line. Rice looks like he needs the rest. Mendy looks like he needs the rest. You can't play what I'm saying. He looks like he needs the rest. Mendy looks like he needs the rest. Need to get get some sort of a balance in the midfield that means that we don't get played around and played through as easy as we have been in the last few games.
Travelling to away games has never been easier, especially with Rocket Mobile.
Unlimited data, unlimited everything in the UK. When you leave the UK, it's 20 gig of roaming data. Life is very easy.
£16 a month, no hassle.
How you doing?
You're doing all right. And this is what you get in Europe.
I know. Come on, the others!
Come on, like, it's the man. You're the man.